The Boys is a show that recently aired on Amazon Prime around 10 days ago. It took the platform by storm and is highly rated in regards to superhero shows. Out of nowhere, this show came, and it definitely delivered. The Boys consists of 7 main characters that have superhuman powers, and I thought it would be a good idea to put them up against each other and see which power reigns supreme. So, which is the best? Well, let's find out. Before I go ahead, make sure you go over to my Twitter, @BrainPilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. So without further ado, I'm BrainPilot, and here is The Boys, The 7, Every Power Ranked. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers, so watch with caution. Number 7. The Deep. The Deep is a character that lives up to that old school Aquaman perception that everybody has. He's considered the useless hero who everybody finds absolutely pointless. He lives his life on social media, but feels as though he deserves so much more. The Deep has the ability to talk and communicate with fish and other sea life, and also the ability to breathe underwater, but that's about it. He has a history of sexual harassment, and that's brought to life in the show. His powers aren't really that impressive, and when showcased, don't highlight the huge appeal. Although, the massive dives into the sea are one cool thing. Number 6. Black Noir. Black Noir is a mystery for the most part of the show. He's a master of hand-on-hand combat and is stealthy and has extreme durability, which allows him to take impact. As well as this, he is anonymous with his identity for the most part. He has superhuman hearing and superhuman strength. Their powers are impressive, but it's something that I wasn't really that fond of when compared to the others. They're basically a superpowered ninja, and I've never really been a huge fan of ninjas. Number 5. Translucent. Translucent is a relatively new character that's been created for the purpose of the Amazon original TV show, and his powers consist of having carbon metamaterial skin that allows it to be bulletproof, and he can also turn his whole body or part of his body invisible. By this point, I think it's safe to say that we know that he doesn't use his powers for good, just like some others in the group. His powers do seem extremely useful, but we don't really get to see them used in a way that makes them seem appealing. In the fight with Billy Butcher, in a situation where you thought he'd have the upper hand, he didn't really, and ended up getting shocked. The fact that he dies in the second episode kind of says it all about him. The potential for the use of his powers are there, but I just feel as though he doesn't really know how to utilize them. Number 4. A-Train. A-Train has the classic superpower, and that is super speed. However, there's a twist. As well as being super fast, he also possesses the ability to have a lot of strength and is great at fighting. This makes him a force to be reckoned with when you come up against him in a battle or a fight. He had good intentions at some points in the show. However, a lot of the time, he was all over the place. When you see A-Train use his powers on screen, it's executed in a way that makes this seem like a power you would want. It's always good when you see the slow-mo shots and see just how fast he is actually moving. This is highlighted perfectly in his battle with Starlight in the final episode. Number 3. Queen Maeve. Queen Maeve comes across as this show's version of the superhero that we know from the DC universe called Wonder Woman. Despite at one point being in a relationship with Homelander, unlike him, she is part of this team due to the fact that she believes that she can make a change to the world and the Seven. She believes in the good in people and wants to improve the world that she's living in. We see this when they have to leave a plane to crash land out of the sky. You could tell that she felt gutted and helpless that she couldn't save them. Maeve's power consists of being really strong and can stop forces even when traveling at speed and distance. And as well, she's extremely good at hand-to-hand combat. We see this on screen in episode 3. One main factor of a power that she doesn't have when compared to Wonder Woman is the fact that she doesn't have the ability to fly or transport anywhere. She has the ability to leap in a superhuman way purely down to her strength, but that just isn't as good as flying. Number 2. Homelander. Homelander is essentially the person who heads up the group, and is definitely the most brutal of them all. He's got the patriotic element of Captain America, but the outfit, stature, and powers of Superman. He's basically invincible. He has heat vision, strength, the ability to fly, amongst many other things, including an extremely manipulative mind. He's arrogant and he thinks that he's the most powerful that there is. He's not a nice guy at all and realistically only cares about himself. However, his powers can be pretty useful in situations, as we saw at many points in the show, especially the heat vision. Number 1. Starlight. Starlight is somebody who is very powerful and who I believe is the most powerful in the show. She's able to generate and give off a light from her eyes and hands that has the ability to blind people. Another string to her bow is the ability to produce a beam of power that is forced to be able to move people across the room and blind them or even kill them. She has the best mindset out of all of the 7 and actually wants to use her powers for good, and her dream has always been to be in the 7 and save the world. In my opinion, she is extremely powerful, a force to be reckoned with, and she rivals Homelander on many things. I would say that Starlight has the best power in the entirety of the show. So, there you have it. What I believe the ranking of the powers of the 7 are. If you want to support the channel in a different way, then head over to my Patreon. Over there, you can get your hands on some exclusive content that's just for you. Take a look and see what you think. If you want to see what I've rated many other TV shows and movies, then head over to my Letterboxd, comment a movie and I'll rate it over there. What do you think of this ranking? Do you agree with me? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.